First, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining Dr. Anand Ranganathan on the debate are Anirban Banerjee, political analyst. Anirban Banerjee, I want to ask you, have we lost our sense of decorum? Have we lost our courtesies just because somebody has gone out for an outreach? You know, is this the way he has to be treated? And is this the way people who meet him have to be treated? I'm just asking you, are we in a civilized society, yes or no?
Yeah, I really don't agree with whoever the person that called the Imam, the Honorable Imam, and present them. I don't agree with these things. Anybody in our country has a right to meet anyone, and it is up to Mr. Ilyas that if he wants to call a butcher a great animal lover, that is his right. I have no problems with that. If someone believes that Adolf Hitler is the greatest peace-loving politician in the history
so you are saying the RSS chief is a butcher? Are you trying to say the RSS chief is a butcher? And if you are saying that, I'm sure you have some evidence to support your statement.
No, I have great respect for the RSS chief.
Then why are you comparing it to a butcher if you have great respect? Is this the way they show respect, on your side of the fence?
No, I have very great respect for him, and I am saying that Mr. Ilyas, for that matter, anybody has every right to call Mr. Mohan Bhagwat the father of the nation, the chief of the particular organization that was associated with the murder of the original father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. I have no problems with that. Anybody can call anyone anything. The first act of terrorism in independent India was the assassination of Mr. Gandhi. And the political impact of Mr. Gandhi is so much that even the Godse worshippers have to put up the garlands in his statue.
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, where do they get these explanations for?
First of all, with due respect to my good friend Anirban Da, he knows as much about history as Mamta Di knows about Dandiya. For him saying that RSS was responsible for the murder of Gandhi is absolutely wrong and blasphemous. Number 2, Navika, I deplore and condemn this execrable language being used for the Maulana. But shall I tell you the truth? The only people who are treated worse than the Hindus who support and talk to the BJP and the RSS are the Muslims who talk to the BJP and the RSS. The kind of abusive language that is used against Shazia Ilmi, who's a BJP spokesperson. And recently, the kind of disgusting language that has been used against a lot of other Muslims who dare to, quote unquote, dare to talk to BJP and RSS is for all to see. I'll tell you the reason why. Because in Islam, there is a concept of the shaitan. Shaitan is important. Shaitan is also stoned metaphorically and physically because shaitan has to be exhumed. And if RSS is not labeled as a shaitan, where would be that false equivalence pigeonhole come to? You would not be able to draw an equivalence with ISIS or with Al-Qaeda. So RSS is important, and any Muslim who talks to the RSS is immediately considered an apostate. But let me now very briefly, Naika, 1 minute, come to the issue. I have myself personally disagreed with Mr. Mohan Bhagwat when he talked about his conciliatory terms, un-Ambedkar-like conciliatory terms that says Muslims and Hindus have the same DNA. Do you know Mr. Rahmani, who was the part of SDPI and who led to all those things that happened with Nupur? His grandfather was a Jain. Do you know Allama Iqbal, who was virulently anti-Hindu and Hindu-phobic and anti-India? His grandfather was a Kashmiri Hindu Pandit. Once you change, once you convert, you are supposed to discard all this quote-unquote metaphorical DNA that you may have that may be similar. And number 2, why do they hate the RSS so much? Is it Mr. Mohan Bhagwat who has said no one has the right to be worshipped but Shiva 4062? Or those who deny the Vedas, their necks will be shackled 4070? Or Muslims are the worst of creatures 98.6? Or fight against those who do not believe in Vishnu and who do not adopt Hinduism? Fight them until they give. And the jizya while they are humble 929? Galti kya hai Mohan Bhagwat ki? Koi ye batayega?
Anirban, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, regarding the DNA thing, I mean that DNA is not really a metaphoric thing or a religious thing, it's a biological thing. And therefore the DNA of human beings, of Homo sapiens, all around the world, as far as my knowledge goes, is the same. whether they are Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Jews, or whatever, the DNA, if you are an Homo sapien, has to be identical with another Homo
Well,
sapien.
he's
So
teaching you science. He's teaching you science, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, and only he can. Just like he is wanting to preach to you Sabka Saath.
Anirban, I already said Mr. Bhagwat meant in a metaphorical sense. I consider myself and you, I consider you as Ethiopian. We are all descendants of Lucy. So our DNA is of course the same, and 98.4% of chimpanzee DNA is identical to the Homo sapiens. But that's what Mohan Bhagwat meant, did he? You also know that. What he meant was that everyone, 99.
Sir, that is the reason I said that if anybody wants to consider a butcher to be an animal lover, that is his or her right. I have no problem with that.
Now, repeatedly you say RSS or Mr. Mohan Bhagwat was a butcher. Do you have any claims to substantiate that?
Where did I say that? Where did I say that?
You should have the courage enough.
You should have the courage of conviction to produce evidence. Otherwise, Anirban Banerjee, you will land up in courts. And this is not the platform which is going to endorse your views, because people who have called RSS names, including Mr. Rahul Gandhi, have had to go back and apologize. I just want to say this. This is not about the RSS. This is not about an Imam. This is about a hand of friendship, which we as human beings must extend to each other. After all, we have to coexist. If there is animosity between communities, there is a problem, there is volatility, and everybody is said to be saying that this sarkar and this DNA spreads hatred, नफरत फैलाते हैं. और जब प्यार मोहब्बत का, दोस्ती का हाथ बढ़ाओ तो कहते हैं इट्स अ शैम. ना इसमें खुश ना उसमें खुश. अरे भाई, चाहिए क्या? Is it impossible for human beings to just be that? Human beings coexist absolutely normally because we live together in the same country, and the biggest common factor between us is the fact that this identity of being Indians keeps us together. Now, is that so very difficult to accept? I'm just asking. Why do we create such a fuss about this as well? Why threats? Why? Why? Let's leave it at that, and let's think about it on why we are spreading hate. And is this not hate? Why blame anybody else? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the News Hour. Good night, be safe, have a safe weekend, and I'll see you